Sickness. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. The miracle is thus a call to Him. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. The miracle is thus a call to Him. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. The miracle is thus a call to Him. Father, you promised you would never fail to answer any call your Son might make to you. It does not matter where He is, what seems to be His problem, nor what He believes He has become. He is your Son, and you will answer Him. The miracle reflects your love, and thus it answers Him. Your name replaces every thought of sin, and who is sinless cannot suffer pain. Your name gives answer to your Son, because to call your name is but to call His own. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. The miracle is thus a call to Him. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. The miracle is thus a call to Him. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. The miracle is thus a call to Him. Lesson 356. Let's read it again. Sickness is but another name for sin. Wait, let's see if we get this guy right in here. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. The miracle is thus a call to Him. Father, you promised you would never fail to answer any call your Son might make to you. It does not matter where He is, what seems to be His problem, nor what He believes He has become. He is your Son, and you will answer Him. The miracle reflects your love, and thus it answers Him. Your name replaces every thought of sin, and who is sinless cannot suffer pain. Your name gives answer to your Son, because to call your name is but to call his own. I love this thing right here. And then it's on the back. Oh, wait, it's on the back as well. The lion insignia. So, anyway, let's read it again without playing around. Here we go. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. The miracle is thus a call to him. So the miracle is a call for healing, right, from the sickness which is sin, right? And the remembrance that sin has no reality. Um, Sickness has no reality. Sin has no reality. Right? Sickness is a defense against the truth. Right? The idea of sin, the idea that we are sinful, is actually blinding us, hiding the truth from us. Just to think that we have this major problem that we need to be saved from. But the remembrance of God, what is the remembrance of God? Which is also the remembrance of love. It's the remembrance that God has never changed. God is but love. God is only love. And God has never changed. And we have never changed as well, because we are created as God. Right? God created us as God's self. Right? I am still as God created me. That's one of the things that gets repeated over and over again in these lessons is I am as God created me, or I am still as God created me. I have not changed. God has not changed. The reality, the one reality, has never changed. Right? That's the atonement principle of the Course. The atonement is nothing happened. God never changed. I never changed. We never changed. We are still the one Son. God is still God. We are still the one Son. And in reality, even, the Father and the Son are one, and there's no separation. So sickness, Jesus is saying, is the idea that sin is real, right? And that there are real problems in this world, and so we make the world real. But one of the main points of the whole Course is that the world is actually not real. It's an illusion. It's a dream that the Son dreamed long ago and forgot that he dreamed it, based in this tiny mad idea, right? Of this tiny mad idea that crept into the the, the mind of God, so to speak, and was like, oh, what would it be like to be separate from God? Right? And the answer was was already right there, which is you can't be separate, right? There's no separation, does not exist. Only in dreams could separation be real. And so the Son had this dream, because, in a sense, God honored the Son's wish to have the dream of separation, right? God, being a loving God, would say, "Okay, hey, if you want to have this dream of separation, if you want to entertain this tiny mad idea, go ahead, entertain the tiny mad idea, see what happens." Right? And then the Son didn't know what the Son was getting himself into, and at first the dream was cool and fun, but there was a point at which the Son realized, um, something amiss here, right? Something not quite right. There does not seem to be something, rotten in the state of Denmark. I keep repeating this Shakespeare line from Shakespeare, right? Something rotten in the state of Denmark. Gee, Dad, I want to go home, or Gee, Mom, I want to go home. And so the Son begins to return, and when the Son makes that choice to return home, something like the Course comes the Son's way to remind the Son there is a way, right? There is a way to get back home. And, think of the Beatles song, once there was a way to get back home. Well, the Course is presenting a way, right? It's presenting a way back or a way out. Father, you promised you would never fail to answer any call your son might make to you. Right? So the son makes the call, right? Because the son feels the call, right? Feels the call to return. The son calls out to God for help, right? To find the way back. It does not matter where he is, what seems to be his problem, nor what he believes he has become. He is your son, and you will answer him. Right? So it doesn't matter how far the son seems to have strayed. The son may think, I am so sinful, I could never go home. God would never accept me. I am unworthy. I am the prodigal son. I am um, horrible. Right? Maybe you've been there before. You dig the hole. You dig your grave down to hell, and there you are in hell, and you're crying out to God. Um, you know, I save me from the hell, from this hell. God would answer. God will answer any sincere call. The miracle reflects your love, God's love, and thus it answers him. Right. So the miracle is a call to him. Right. So the son is calling for healing. The son feels that he is sinful, calling out to God to be saved from the sin. And the miracle is really the miracle is forgiveness, is the remembrance that ultimately it's in remembrance that sin is not real. Your name replaces every thought of sin, and who is sinless cannot suffer pain. So what is God's name? We've talked about this. What is God's name? God does not have a name per se. In fact, you could use any name for God. You could say God. You could say love. You could say source. You could say spirit. You could say oneness. You could say Allah. You could say um, Brahman. You could say Adonai. You could say Jehovah. You could say Mary, um, the mother of God. You could say, you could use any name that works for you. But the name is really the essence, right? So what is essential is love, right? Is unity, is wholeness. So the name, and the name is also. Hey, bud, let me fit. All right.
And why is the lion out here?
I don't know. I was using the lion. Yeah. So the name is basically that idea, which that is God is eternal love, right? Unchanging, the oneness without a second, um, perfect love. Okay, take the lion. He took the lion.
Now he can sleep.
I can. All right, good. Thanks, bud. Close the door, okay? Thanks, bud. So your name replaces every thought of sin, and who is sinless cannot suffer pain. Right? So the Son is sinless by definition. By our reality is sinless. But why do we think that we're sinful? Because we choose to be separate. In choosing to be separate, we dream this dream of separation, in which sin had to play a part, because that is what happens when you feel you're separate. Um, is you create a world of duality, a division. You create a world of me versus you, us versus them, and what inevitably happens is sin comes into the picture. But if you understand that this is a dream, this is an illusion, and you take that to heart, you begin to see that love is really ever present. Love has never changed. Even here and now, love is still present. God is still in the picture, even though we try to push God out of the picture. God is still here, and you could say the essence is still here. Um, and when you start to work with that idea, pain and suffering become optional, right? You, pain and suffering more and more become a thing of the past. Your name gives answer to your son, because to call your name is but to call his own. Right? So we share that same name, we share the same essence. Right? The name of God is our name. Um, so name is essence, is love, is eternal love. And when we remember, I am eternal love, and I've always been eternal love. I have never changed, right? Only my mind has created these stories and accepted identities which are not true, and in accepting identities which are really not my reality. I've gotten off track. I've gotten caught up in these um, ideas that bring me into this feeling of being something that I'm really not. And when I entertain those ideas, then that gets reflected outside of me, and I more and more get testimony that I am sinful, that there is something wrong with me, that I am not the son of God. I'm, you know, whatever, this lonely person who has done all these bad things, and really, don't feel good about myself because I- I'm caught up in the drama, right? I'm caught up in the story, and I can't for the life of me even entertain the idea that this is a dream, right? That this is not my reality. That I am getting stuck in false ideas of what I am. All right, I hope this was helpful a little bit. This is a long one, I guess, today. Let's do the song one more time and call it a day. And I might do one more video tonight, going back to this guy Paget and his channeling Jesus, and there's this guy in Australia who claims to be Jesus, and I did one video. I might do another video about that. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I always love to hear your thoughts. Here we go. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. The miracle is thus a call to Him. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. The miracle is thus a call to Him. Father, you promised you would never fail to answer any call your Son might make to you. It does not matter where He is, what seems to be His problem, nor what He believes He has become. He is your Son, and you will answer Him. The miracle reflects your love, and thus it answers Him. replaces every thought of sin, and who is sinless cannot suffer pain. Your name gives answer to your Son, because to call your name is but to call his own. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. A miracle is thus called to him. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. Miracle is thus a call to him. See you soon. Rock on.